Post-Impressionism was a reaction to the Impressionist movement, which offered a momentary glimpse of an image. During this time, morals were rapidly changing and people became increasingly dependent on alcohol. New behavior became prominent and advances in science were made. As optics and psychology made greater improvements, post-impressionists painted with a greater emotional depth.
Road with Cypress and Star is a very emotional work. The large dark cypress tree and swirling night sky is the major theme shown in many of his paintings. The tall golden canes cause the yellow crescent moon and star to be a brilliant light in the dancing sky. The romantic carriage and inn are dramatically overwhelmed by the power and superiority of the cypress. The swirling night sky is similar to what of the Starry Night, and the golden field relates to that of wheat field with cypresses.
Wheat field with cypresses shows a serene scene of nature. Van Gogh uses a bright color palette to portray the light and a mood of the outdoors. Aerial perspective is used to show a larger part of the scene and offer a fresh perspective. Cool colors are used in this painting, with the exception of the wheat field. This gives a greater importance and highlights this field. Also, due to many optical advances, Van Gogh makes our eyes focus on the cypress tree, swirl through the sky, and then rest on the wheat field. This painting is very optically interesting due to the contrast between the linear field and the swirl of the sky. Starry Night is one of Van Gogh's most famous paintings. It depicts the view outside of his sanitarium room window. The large cypress tree is the main focus of the work, creating an unbalanced yet beautiful piece. This emotional painting focuses on cool colors with pops of whites and yellow. In Starry Night, Van Gogh shows a usually calm landscape in a turbulent, emotional way. His rapid brushwork is used to portray the emotion of the piece. The Starry Night looks as though it was painting in a rapid, spontaneous manner, when in fact it was carefully planned.
Van Gogh used a mixture of Impressionist elements and of course post-Impressionist elements to depict his art. The Impressionist elements of his art is in the form of very visible brushstrokes which are placed in an almost staccato rhythm. The style characteristic to Van Gogh, however, are the swirls which were used to express motion, as you can especially see in Starry Night and Wheat Field with Cypresses. You can almost feel the wind blowing through the landscape in Wheat Field with Cypresses, and his use of swirling contrasting color strongly portrayed these elements of nature. One technique that was apparent in many of his works was impasto. In impasto, paint would be laid on an area of the surface very thickly enough that the brush or painting knife strokes are very visible. This unique technique provides texture which makes the paint appear to be coming out of the canvas, which was characteristic to many post-impressionist paintings. Some pointillism can be seen as well, especially in the sky of Road with Cypress and Star. Van Gogh, however, did not use much pointillism in his paintings overall and focused more on strong, contrasting colors as he saw them in nature. His paintings were actually similar to pointillism in a way. In principle, however, because of the use of different colors to show a single color due to the human eye blending them. The composition and balance of his pieces usually had the focus subjects, in this case, the cypress tree, off to one side of the painting with an intricate background next to it and behind. This can be clearly seen in Starry Night and Wheat Field with Cypresses. The reason why we chose these paintings, Road with Cypress and Star, Wheat Fields with Cypresses, and Starry Night respectively, was because they all held principal characteristics of Van Gogh's swirly art style and obsession with cypress and sky. The visible brushstrokes are easily prominent on all these paintings add depth to a still landscape world.
Vincent van Gogh was a Dutchman who began his art career at age 27. He had many emotional issues and thus used much passion in his painting. He first began by copying many paintings and studying manuscripts on art written in the 19th century. One of his first influences was Millet, whose landscape paintings led Van Gogh to make up scenes depicting rural life. When in Paris, Van Gogh experienced the art of the Impressionists and Post-Impressionists, causing him to experiment with pointillism and broken brushstrokes. Vincent van Gogh was a man with violent mood swings and breakdowns, causing him to willingly go into an asylum for his own protection. In the asylum, he painted much of the surroundings, which included olive and cypress trees. During this time, he made Starry Night and Wheat Field. He painted much of the surroundings in the asylum. He also painted Wheat Field with cypresses in the asylum. Van Gogh continued to paint very frequently, but was eventually overcome by depression and died in July of 1890. Van Gogh is an interesting example of a post-impressionist artist because his original and emotional style is widely recognized, especially in Starry Night, which led to inspiration in modern art.
Thank you for watching our little presentation on Vincent van Gogh.